Hey guys, Daryl Shergan, Quest for Vape. You know, I've been doing a lot of reviews on regulated box mods lately. I've done temperature control. I've done a lot of sub ohm tanks. I haven't reviewed a mech mod in a long time, and it's about time I reviewed one. Now I've got a good one to review. This is the Sub-Zero Copper Competition mech mod. And I just picked this up at the New Jersey Vape Expo this past weekend. I love this mod. It's great. It is a hard-hitting mod. It is a competition-winning mod. It goes head-to-head right up there. I feel like my rig and Roughneck hits slightly harder than this, but that might be my build also. I feel that this is toe-to-toe with any of the best on the market. And for the price, under 200 bucks. Now, I have yet to get my hands on an Able mod or an Optic, and I am looking forward to doing that and comparing. But yeah, this stands tall against Dominus, against Rig and Roughneck, and against Avid Life. They're all fine quality. They've entered the market. They're good. Let me show you how this thing comes. It comes in a nice cardboard box. This is an authentic. All right, I bought it at the show. I saw them in Miami, and it was a little not in my budget at that time. It comes with this metal, solid metal authenticity card from Sub Ohm Innovations. I actually met the owner of the company, Kale, and this gentleman explained to me why, I'll get into this in a minute, why it's okay to put your batteries in with the negative side up. So that's the box, that's the authenticity card, and basically, wow, here's a whole diagram of the housing and everything. I don't know if you can see that, but it actually details how the whole thing is put together. It's got a very unique firing button and firing mechanism and electricity delivery to the battery system. But first I'll show you, it does say legendary around the base, and I'll give you a good look at that base again, that fire button, Sub-Zero Innovations. Okay, I'm using the Alliance RDA from Vaporgate and Fogwind. That's the top of the 510 connection. Unscrew this. It's a pressure fit. You're going to need to adjust this for each particular RDA that you use. So you're just going to screw that down. Okay, it's got a nice thick copper nut on the inside that's reverse threaded, and then you just screw that up. Adjust that for the RDA, get it on there snugly, screw that right into place. All right, and then this is reverse threaded. Again, you're going to have to be counterintuitive with that. You're going to adjust that to get rid of any battery rattles. So I happen to be using 35 amp EFES right here. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not building below 0.15. All right, look at the inside of that nice copper tube. I polished this up with a cloth, but it's smooth as butter, no burrs. The machining is perfect, as you would expect for a middle of the range pricing. I'm going to say under $200. I don't know what this costs retail. I bought it at a show. I paid slightly less than 100 bucks for it at a show. So I'm guessing they probably cost about 160 to 180 brand new. I want to show you this firing mechanism. It's very unique. Do you see that? That copper pin with a spike. Okay, so the way this is designed is as you push up on the firing button, and by the way, it has a locking mechanism. You twist it half a turn, a quarter of a turn, and it's locked. Quarter of a turn, it's unlocked. Quarter of a turn, either direction. It locks, unlocks, locks, unlocks. Okay, so let's take this pin, this spring out. It's not magnets, it's a spring. It has this unique pancake design that's like cut up into a pie, a four-piece pie. Can you see the four segments of that? And it's got that pin I just showed you on the bottom of the tube. Okay, do you see the vent holes? 3, 6, 8 vent holes. Do you see that pin? That pin fits into this slot, and this is split into 4 equal pieces. So when that insulator So there is no contact with your finger to actual electricity. That insulator is going to surround it. Okay, anyway, you get the point. That insulator, when you push this firing button, pushes up against the bottom of that pie. That pie is held together by an O-ring, and the elasticity of the O-ring creates inward pressure, and the firing button pushes up. It actually separates those pieces. It separates them. I'm going to try and show you this from this side. See how they separate? Okay, that's upside down, but what essentially happens is, and be careful with that, because if that pops out of the O-ring, you're going to have the devil of a time putting it back together. It's a pain, I'll be honest with you. So don't do it. But when, like I'm about to, when you push that firing button, that pressure pushes that pancake, that pie, up against that spike, and it separates those into four wedges. Long story short, more contact with the battery, because this spike drives down in, separates those, and then you have 8 points of contact with the battery down through there. All right, that's the best way I have to explain it and describe it, and that's why it hits as hard as it does, because more surface area contact with the battery, copper on copper, the whole way through. Now, what Cale, the owner of Sub Ohm Innovations, told me, and he's very intelligent, extremely intelligent, he told me, you can put a battery in upside down. You just have to make sure a couple of things. Most batteries vent through the positive. Not most. He said batteries will vent through the positive side, not the negative side. So you want the positive facing whichever direction your vent holes are, which happen to be down. He said there's not a problem having the negative side up. And the way they describe it over here is they say with voltmeters, some voltmeters require positive side up, but that doesn't mean you have to vape with the battery positive side up. And he actually talked with me for about 20 minutes explaining that electricity travels from negative to positive. So if your negative side is up, it's a shorter distance to the RDA, and then the center post is not the positive anymore, it's the negative, and you have a faster ramp-up time, and it's infinitesimally small, but the electricity goes straight up into the RDA and then back around the positive side instead of going from the negative down around through the mod to the negative post. So you actually now have a negative post and two positive posts. That's interesting. And he says right here, battery installation, the Sub-Zero mod will function with the battery installed positive up or positive down. Some attachments, such as voltage meters, require the battery to be one way or the other, so it is important to read the information provided with your voltage meter or atomizer, etc. We recommend the positive side down configuration for the safest operating under extreme load and in case of battery failure. And basically, so that's interesting. He's one of the few people I've ever met. I know somebody who's like very advanced in electronics engineering and stuff like that told me the same thing. This gentleman, Cale, talked to me for like 20 minutes down in Miami about that. So anyway, it is negative side down, and I'm going to vape on it. I'm not going to blow up. I know I'm going to catch a rash of shit on YouTube in comments. That's okay. I'm not going to delete any of them. Put the comments down below. Tell me why not to have the positive down. Because that's what I had always been told. Positive side up, positive side up, positive side up. You know, if it's a regulated device, it's going to tell you which side it's wired for. If it's an unregulated device, it's going to tell you which side it's wired for. So follow those instructions. But on a mech mod, that's what he says. All right, you're still only tightening down the adjusting screws so that you get rid of battery rattle. You're not making them so damn tight that you dent in and crush or damage your battery. But you know what? That thing hits just as hard, if not harder, and it's fine. All right, so one other thing. So that pointy spike that we saw on the bottom that was facing that little pancake pie wedge thingy, this is the inside of it. That's the top side of it. So that's a copper pin with the spike on the bottom side, and that flat, that's hitting the positive, and it's meeting it. And look at that insulation ring in there, which does have 8 vent holes, as we saw. And yes, it is negative side up, and Daryl's not blowing himself up. Now, I'm a safe and cautious guy, so I wasn't going to just do this without, I talked with the guy, and logically it made sense. I know it's in disagreement with most of the industry, but people will tell me you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that, but they won't tell me why you can't do that. The explanations I've heard is, well, the battery vents through the negative. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That's what I'm assured, that the batteries will vent through the positive. So let's talk with any battery manufacturers we know. I know, if we're curious, let's go on Reddit and we could probably find out. All right, guys, so nobody sent me this for free. I wish they did. But if I had another one, I'd give it away. And I'm sorry I'm not giving this one away because I like it. I don't like it. I love it. And there you go. Sub Ohm Innovations Sub-Zero mod. Nice. Daryl just doesn't only vape on mech mods. He's been known on occasion to vape on very nice mechanical mods. Quest for Vape, thank you very much for watching my channel.